Hey, this is Bigg, and now it's time to do the Black Ops Cold War campaign review. After this, I'm going to be going through an overall review for the complete game, so watch to the end of the video. Also, if you find this video useful, please leave it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and click the notification bell so you never miss one of my videos. Right, let's get into it. First, let me start off by saying that even though I had some issues with the campaign, I actually had a lot of fun playing it. This is as traditional of Call of Duty campaign as you can get. It's fast-paced, violent, over-the-top action with crazy set pieces, and it feels like old school COD more than last year's Modern Warfare, which was possibly done purposely because of its time setting. So Cold War is set directly after the first Black Ops game, and the old crew are back. You got Hudson, Woods and Mason, they're all back, along with new CIA agent Adler, who looks a hell of a lot like a mean looking Robert Redford. Now, without giving away any spoilers, the mission is to hunt down a Russian spy named Perseus. Perseus is actually based on a real life rumoured Russian spy who's thought to have infiltrated the US government. Now, to avoid spoilers, that's all I'm going to say about the storyline, but expect a lot of secret Black Ops missions and shady tactics. You'll play as multiple characters in different parts of the game, and you actually get to create your own character. You can pick your character's gender, skin tone, military background, and psychological profile, which is supposed to give your character, additional perks in combat. But we'll go through my thoughts on that later. Either way, my character was an ex-MI6 agent with violent tendencies and impatient. I mentioned earlier that the game is fast-paced and violent, and this is something you see from the very beginning of the game. They go balls deep on the action real fast, and playing through the airfield mission from the campaign reveal trailer, it left a big smile on my face. They've added some new features like being able to take an enemy as a human shield, pull the pin on a grenade and kick him into his mates. This was definitely stolen from Gears of War, but who cares because it looks so damn cool when you get to do it, and I had to do it on every opportunity I got. Silent kills and quick melee kills are unnecessarily brutal but definitely appreciated. There are actually some decent optional side missions you can do as well. Now, these side missions have other objectives which are also optional. For example, in one of the missions you have to go after a target, but before you do that you can figure out its spy ring. If you choose not to identify the spies and start the mission, you'll get warned that the spy ring will stay active after you kill the target. I didn't see an impact on the story, but who knows if it will make a difference in Cold War 2. Now, to do these additional objectives, you actually need to find hidden evidence around the main story missions. It's basically collecting intel like you could do in previous CODs, if you could be bothered. I could never be bothered. Once the evidence is collected, you then have to examine it and select who you think are the spies. For me, I was like, I've got other games to play, just get me back to the killing. There are different endings to the game as well, and it's definitely worth playing both. To play both, you just need to go back a level or two from the mission selector and then make some different choices to get to the alternate ending. It will be pretty obvious when you play it. Right, now it's time to criticize, because there are definitely some issues with the game. Let's start off with the length. It's short. Now, this isn't something new with Call of Duty games, and I actually don't mind them being short, because I've got so many 20 to 40 plus hour games that I occasionally like when I can complete really quickly and replay when I want. But Cold War feels really short, shorter than usual. Maybe it's because the game difficulty seems easier. I always play every COD the first time on Arden difficulty and then do the second playthrough on Veteran. But this time Arden felt a lot easier than it usually does, so I was cutting through enemies a lot quicker. I think the reason why I found it so easy is because enemies are really dumb in this game. Enemies will just stand out in the open like they're begging you to shoot them, rather than taking cover. So yeah, dumb AI is definitely an issue I want to point out. I mentioned earlier that you can create your own character with a psychological profile that gives perks in-game. I really didn't notice any difference, so this felt pointless. And while we're on the subject of character creation, why did my character not have a voice? If a game like Saints Row will allow you to pick a voice for your character, why can't Call of Duty? You get given some dialogue to choose from in certain parts of the game, but no voice.
Wait. Wait. Oh. I just handled the money. I have no idea where Arashi is.
It felt weird. And also, it seems that my character was a vampire because no mirror could detect him. It's little details like this that I don't expect to be missing from any game these days, but especially not a Call of Duty game. There was also an issue I found by accident with the PC version. I was having some internet issues and suddenly my game just stopped. That's when I realised that you need to always be online for a single player game. That's just ridiculous. So my verdict on the game is that while it was fun and I'm going to play through it again, it was way too short and shouldn't have been released in the condition it was. I had similar performance issues as the multiplayer, but there was a patch a week after launch and also some graphics cards updates. So it looks like these performance issues may have been fixed now. It's early days, but we'll see. If you're more a fan of older COD games than last year's Modern Warfare, you may actually prefer this one. But for me, AI this dumb has no place in the game. So now let's look at the complete package and ask the question of, is it worth £50 to £65? And it's a question that really needs to be asked with the price rise of the game. I enjoyed the game, but it did feel a bit rushed. The campaign felt too short, the AI was dumb, and yes, when they decide to raise the price of a game like this for the next gen hustle, they better not cut corners and need to pay attention to detail. There's not enough maps in the core multiplayer and combined arms modes, and after just 1 week I've already played through the 8 maps many times. I've already seen an announcement that Nuketown is being added to the game, which was expected because it's Black Ops, and I'm sure they will add more maps in future battle passes, but what it was launched with really didn't feel like a lot. This could be because Cartel, Armada and Crossroads are used in both combined arms and core multiplayer modes, rather than having separate maps for the different modes. Then removing opening and closing doors and not being able to mount your weapon on cover, or the double tap of the sprint button to sprint faster was a problem for me. I was expecting them to improve on last year's COD, not take things away. I actually have a PS5, but I prefer playing first-person shooters on PC, so I'm not getting the PlayStation advantage on the game with the Battle Pass skips and being able to create additional loadouts. But let's be real for a second. You can create 9 to 10 loadouts as it is, so I don't really care about PlayStation players getting a couple of extras. The Battle Pass skips are a bit of a piss take though, but still something that I'm not too fussed about. But I do think this is a very slippery slope, and who knows what changes will be on the next year's COD. On the cross-platform game, there shouldn't be any console advantages, so they need to cut that shit out. As for zombies, I've got no problem with you, good job. I don't think the game was worth the price rise, but I've got a bigger question. Did we actually need a new Call of Duty this year? I know they like to release these games every year, but I don't think we did. Modern Warfare is still being played by a lot of gamers because they keep adding content. Warzone was released as a standalone free-to-play game, and it's the only battle royale game I've ever really enjoyed. Warzone was actually released this year, so for a lot of gamers, it doesn't even feel like it's been a year since we got a Call of Duty game. I think it may be time to start releasing every 2 years, but we know that won't happen because there's money to be made. I will at some point be buying the physical version of the game on PS5 when I see it going cheap, just to experience the campaign with the DualSense controller, but then the game's getting sold on eBay. To get back to the point, get the game when it's cheaper rather than buy it now. It is a fun game, but they need to add some more content to make it worth the money. It will be Christmas soon, so we're bound to see it get reduced in one of the upcoming sales, so just wait and play something else. If you found the video useful, leave it a like. I'm currently working my way through Spider-Man Miles Morales, so that's likely to be the next review that I upload, so make sure you check it out when it's up. If you want to make sure you get an alert whenever I upload a new video, hit the subscribe button if you're new here and click the notification bell. Also, check out the other 2 reviews I've done for multiplayer and zombies modes for Cold War. Thanks for watching.